Right here, stay on. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Let's do this. Man, we gonna do 1, 2, 3.
See, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for being here with us because we truly appreciate it. What's going on, Eagles Nation? Welcome to the Main Thing Podcast presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens, and after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
What's going on, Eagles family? This is your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. We're coming to you here on a Wednesday morning, here to discuss our latest victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers, where we won 27-13 in convincing fashion, dominant victory. We put pause on these boys. We went in there, we had a clear-cut mission and game plan, and we executed it almost flawlessly. Now, after that victory, we have some new NFL and ESPN power rankings where the Philadelphia Eagles now sit atop the list at number 1. So we're starting to get a little bit of credit. It's starting to show us a little bit of love.
Put some respect on
as
the name.
Boys with
Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more. Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, man. But as some boys will tell you, hey, it's on to the next. Don't let it get to your head. Never get too high, never get too low. Stay even. You know what I'm saying? Let's get after it. But they played complimentary ball in this victory, man. Offense had a couple hiccups early, but was sound. Defense was really sound the whole game. Truth be told, special teams had a couple hiccups, but for the most part, stayed solid. It was an overall good win. One can say it was our best win. Another interesting quick fact before we move in and I ask your opinion on the victory. There have only been now 2 coaches in Eagles history with multiple 12-plus winning seasons. One of them being Andy Reid, who we know and love very much, and the next being Nick Sirianni. So congrats to you, Nick Sirianni, on just continuing to win, man. Keep doing your thing, brother. But overview of the game, Mr. Owens, how you feel?
Huss, like you said, bro, this is one of the most complete games that we played. First off, shout out to us winning 10 games straight, making it the highest in franchise history win streak. I'm sitting here right now because I'm proud. Just how like QB1 was when he saw Saquon squatting. That's how I'm feeling right now. Just smiling from ear to ear, and just being joyful to what the Eagles have been doing this season. Like you said, all around complete game. Now, when we talk about and emphasize all 3 phases playing, the offense, the defense, the special teams, playing collective ball together, playing as a group, that was on full display against the Steelers. I like the fact that we came in with a game plan. We stuck with our game plan and we executed it at a very, very high level. As we always harp on, we always say complimentary football. That is what the Eagles did on Sunday to one of the best teams in the NFL, especially in the AFC. You can tell that they're playing with pride. You can tell that they're having fun and playing for one another out there. And then one thing and one word that I love that is being described about the Eagles is bullies. We bully whoever wants to come and play us. We're the Broad Street Bullies. We ain't the original, but look, we the Broad Street Bullies. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just like I said, I'm ecstatic. How we came in mentally prepared, mentally focused, and put the past in the past. We don't want to hatch or open up a closed wound. But I'm glad that we were able to put that noise behind us, and come out with that dub on Sunday.
Absolutely. And that was they obviously one of the main headlines, silencing that noise. There were questions around the passing game for several weeks now. AJ had touched on it a little bit when asked what are some things that can use improvement or need correcting. He said passing. So you had all that drama going on. All those questions were answered in this game. Before we move into a little bit of offense discussion, we didn't come out of this game unscathed. You had Jalen Hurts, who actually entered the game, but continued to play through the game with a broken finger. Sidney Brown, concussion, vicious concussion on the opening kickoff of the game. You had Landon Dickerson, who had a knee. Status on that is still kind of up in the air. And you had a few players who were in and out, but they all came back, so I won't mention those. Saquon Barkley came up a little gimp. You had Lane Johnson had a little tweak, Mekhi Becton, but those players all returned to the game, so don't count them in your injury report. But Sidney Brown, Landon Dickerson, Jalen Hurts will be on there with a broken finger, even though he played. But moving to the offensive side, what you see, bro?
The offense had a purpose, bro. What QB1 say? We had a purpose before anybody had an opinion. They were on a mission to eliminate the noise, eliminate the doubters, eliminate the haters outside of that building. The offense, starting with QB1, had a phenomenal game because he was very decisive. He went through his progressions, got the ball out of his hands quickly, got it to his playmakers to make plays. The thing what I liked about him was he wasn't scared to throw the football. We've been asking for it because we've known and he has shown us time in and time out that he can throw the ball at an effective level. When he got to the top of his drop, he saw the routes opening up, and he delivered the football how it was supposed to be delivered. One play, like it was play after play after play with QB1. The thing that I loved about QB1 is, like I said, he had the command of the offense and of the football, and he was poised. We know that everyone wanted to run with the narrative that, oh, the Eagles are only winning because they hand the ball off to Saquon and the offensive line are bullies and this, that, and the third. That's what everybody wanted to run. That was the narrative coming out on QB1. The fact that, like I said, he went in, he proved to the world again that he can not only pass the football, but pass the football with the elite quarterbacks. The thing that makes me upset is when the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, all the quarterbacks that y'all want to claim that are in the upper echelon tier, QB1 has the same exact stats as those individuals. And once again, QB1 wins. What he did, the one we talked off camera, because the one play that really stuck out in my mind with QB1 was when he dropped back in the pocket, he stood tall in the pocket and climbed the pocket, and then directed Saquon to the sideline to open up that window in the middle of the field to Smitty. That is maturity. That is growth from your franchise quarterback that you want. Like I said, he play in and play out even with the finger. He did what he does best. That finger didn't affect him. Now, with all the great stuff that QB1 did, comes some of the bad things. We know we always start off no turnovers, right? QB1, he had a fumble. TJ Watt made a heck of a play. That's why TJ Watt is who TJ Watt is. He peanut punched the ball out. Peanut helmet, boom, got the ball out. But like we said on the prior video, because we wanted to see QB1 be more aggressive and more assertive, more dominant. And when he fumbled, I was kind of upset. But the thing what I had to remember was on a prior video, I stated myself, if he threw a pick or 2 picks, had a turnover, it's okay. So once he fumbled the ball, I realized, hey, it's okay. But overall, had a solid game. He is the leader that we all grown to love. And he's just maturing right before our eyes. As we keep saying, Huss, we go as far as QB1 takes us, and that's a solid start. And to be going on the trajectory that we're going on right now, going into the playoffs, you want your quarterback playing the best ball of the season right now in this time period.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. You want your quarterback playing the best ball right now. Like I said, especially during the point in time in which we are in the season. Moving on to the latter end, we only have 3 games left, approaching the playoffs, in the hunt for that number 1 seed. You want him maturing right now. You want your whole team maturing right now. You know what I'm saying? But as far as focusing on QB1, this was a game in which he showed his understanding of the offense. He showed his understanding of the defense and what they were throwing at him. He was 25 of 32 for 290 yards, 2 touchdowns, had another 45 yards rushing. Probably would have had more than that if it wasn't for the kneel downs. Also had a touchdown on the ground, 78% on the completion, had a 125 passer rating. In this game where everybody questioned his arm and was calling him damn near the weak link of this offense, he proved that he wasn't. He showed that he was an elite, and he did it against an elite, well-coached defense. The Steelers have been known for defense for years. They're known for being well-coached under Mike Tomlin during his whole tenure. And I'm going to keep it a bean. Jalen picked them apart. Where the running game didn't get off, Saquon only having 65 yards on the ground, really bottled him up. That's the first time we've seen that this year. And that's one of the things that, especially since the bye week and we've been running the ball so well, we kind of asked ourselves, if the running game does kind of get choked up and bottled up, can Jalen put it on his arm and win you a game? He clearly proved he did it. Got both the receivers, AJ and Smitty, involved. They both caught 19 passes for around 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, both over 100 yards each, both a touchdown apiece. Smitty, damn near every ball that he threw at him, he caught. You know what I mean? So the receivers were getting off, even though Saquon didn't have the astronomical numbers rushing that we're used to seeing him rush for 150 yards, 200 yards, whatever it is. In this game, it was still complimentary football. You never felt like we were passing too much because the run wasn't getting off. You know what I'm saying? Kenny G, bro. We spoke about it before we started recording. Unsung hero of the game. Without question, had 3 big catches, all of them on 3rd down, moved the sticks. We score on every drive they converted that 3rd down on. It was just, and it was easy pass. It wasn't like Kenny G was doing anything or Jalen Hurts was doing anything special or simple. I'm not liking what I see. Check it down. Let my athletes and my players go do what they do. Kenny G, KG14 has been a big compliment or a great compliment to Saquon, especially with Saquon kind of getting nicked up and missing extensive time. You never felt like, especially against a better defense that with Saquon out, that the offense was immobilized. The offense was still moving the ball. You know what I'm saying? There was no drop off. So I had loved to see that. The O-line played superb. Lane Johnson, TJ Watt, one of those old straight hand. What's the straight hand? What's our name?
John Runyon.
There you go, my man John Runyon. You feel me? One of those tape matchups. Everybody was watching that, and Lane Johnson showed why he was the better player. Now, don't get me wrong, TJ Watt had a few plays. It's TJ Watt. Like I said, peanut punch. He had 2 sacks, but for majority of the game, especially in that second half, you really didn't hear TJ Watt's name. Tyler Steenfield's in. for Landon Dickerson. Bro, Tyler Steen has turned into a serviceable guard. We mentioned it. On any other team, he will be a starter. He will be a starter. It's just our line is so good that he's a backup, and it just adds to the depth in which we have. He really filled in nicely. Jordan Mailata, he's our best lineman this year by far. He's almost like an eraser on the edge over there. We had spoke about it. There was one play, and I've never seen this. I don't know when they coached this up or whatever it is, but Ty Smith, the outside linebacker / edge rusher, opposite TJ Watt on the Steelers, comes up, hits Jordan Mailata with an inside spin move. Jordan Mailata then proceeds to hit Highsmith with his own spin move, spins right back into the phase, cuts him off, drives him into the ground. Mailata is 6'8", 360 pounds. He should not be spinning, moving as graceful as he is. It's scary. It's scary how well these big men move. But just the line overall, pass pro, run blocking, dominant. As you mentioned, Broad Street Bullies, man. It was very exciting to watch, but also very reassuring, especially in a week in which we had so many questions surrounding Jalen, the passing game, family feuds, the whole nine, you know. For real.
Hey, Huss, just to add on a little bit to the offensive line, like you said, the offensive line did a phenomenal job in pass pro and run blocking. But just some stats for the offensive line. In the first 4 drives, QB1 had 2.6 seconds to throw and had a pressure percentage on blitzes of 7%. Fast forward to our last 5 drives, QB1 had 4.01 seconds to throw and then had 50% pressure percentage versus the blitz. So as you see, the first 4 drives, they were blitzing, trying to get to QB1, trying to get him off his spot, get him off his rhythm. But then we went to the sideline, of course, with Stoutland U, looked at the tablet, looked at the game, corrected our pass protections, and then gave QB1 ample time to throw. That is a major shout out to the offensive line because
hey man, they were balling. And you know they had to back off the blitz because per Jake Rabati, Jalen Hurts versus the blitz in 2004, 74 for 110. That's 67.3%. 945 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception. 117.4 passer rating with his 5th highest in the NFL. 8.6 yards per attempt. Right? So when they're blitzing him, he's making teams pay. Especially coming off of last year, a year in which he had a struggle versus the blitz. That was one of the main things we all knew we need to clean up. We have to find some answers to the blitz. He's answered it this year. It answered it in a fashionable statement. So yeah, you back off the blitz. 4 seconds to throw for a quarterback. He's back there feeding the baby, making himself a sandwich, watching ESPN. He's doing everything. 4 seconds is a long time. That's a long time to be holding on to the ball, patting it. So, like you said, shout out to the O-line. Shout out to Jeff Stoughton, because it seems whatever combination we put out here, it works, especially now. If we have to move a piece around because something goes on or insert a guy, we insert them, and it's might be a slight hiccup, but they find their footing and it works out. Stoutland continues to show his worth and why he's one of the best just position coaches, just all around coaches in the league.
For sure. And because before we tap into the defense, we definitely got to touch on that 21 play, 88 yard, 10 minutes and 29 second drive, bro.
That's the drive of the game, man. Literally.
The drive of the game. We talked off camera, Big Huss. We've been Eagle fans since birth, bro. And we have had some of the best coaches, whether it be Andy Reid, Doug Peterson. I'm not going to mention the other guy. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If y'all know, y'all know.
He gets
no mentions, bro. He gets no X. You see what I'm saying? But that drive, the fact that we started on the 3-yard line, because, and then off of AJ's false start, It happens. I don't know.
Now, mind y'all, hold on. He's talking about our final drive in the fourth quarter. The final drive, and if you watch the game, you know the final drive of the fourth. That's what Mr. Owens is talking about, right? I mean,
Oh, you good, bro? Hey, you gotta make sure everybody on the same accord, same page. You feel
me?
This is a team effort. But yeah, like the final drive of the fourth quarter, AJ false starts. We get half the distance to the goal. It was amazing how we started with an incomplete pass to AJ on the back shoulder. Then we ran Saquon for 4 yards. 3rd and 6. I think this is one of the biggest throws that QB1 made in the game. 3rd and 6 slant to AJ. Like I said, that was a big boy catch, big boy throw for 21-yard gain. AJ sold the go route and then wins on the slant. AJ is undefeated in slants. Let's make that clear.
Undefeated in man coverage. He's a number one receiver in man. You don't want to play him mano-a-mano. It doesn't bode well for you.
You don't. He's a menace. And matter of fact, to add on to your point, Huss, AJ Brown is the best versus man coverage, the best receiver versus man coverage, statistic wise.
Yep.
And then Saquon ran for another 4 yards. QB1 gets out the pocket. When the play broke down, he tried to fake the swing pass to Smitty. That closed up, so then he had to shuffle it to Saquon. I really didn't want to see that too much because at that point in the game, we got to protect the football. But luckily, it worked out with the shovel pass. Then Saquon ran for 6 or 7 yards, made it a 3rd and 2. Saquon lost 4 yards. He slipped. I wasn't necessarily worried about the lost yardage. I was more worried about potential injury because when he slipped and stayed on the ground, I was kind of nervous. But I was glad that he did get back up, but he made that a 2nd and 14. The next play, QB1 manipulated the defense. That's the one where I said before where he directed Saquon to the sideline, made a clear window in the middle to Smitty for a huge conversion. So that shows, like I said, his maturity and growth.
And low key, he hit one to AJ like that earlier in the game on a similar concept where they hooked up. I believe they were in cover 2. It was covered at first. AJ kind of slides to the middle. Jalen dart right to AJ, big 3rd down conversion earlier in the game. So he was finding the holes in the zone.
And see, that's quarterback and receiver being on the same page. That's endless work. This is the work that you see outside of game day. This is the work that they put in during practice. This is the work that they put in during the off season. You see what I'm saying? It's coming to fruition. Then of course Pitt sold out to stop the run like they've been doing all game, and Saquon lost another 3 yards. But one play where AJ was coming on a slant, QB1 saw it, but then Peyton Wilson got in a passing lane and got his hand up because you can see AJ was like, bro, if he had caught, he would have caught it in stride. And I don't know if he would have scored, but got a chunk play.
It would have been a major chunk play.
It would have been a major chunk play because I saw it. I was like, dang, Peyton Wilson got his hand up. But from there, we didn't get rattled. We came back. Then it was 3rd and 13. We got a completion of 12 yards to Smitty. 4th and 1. The brotherly shove, aka tush push, whatever you want to call it, comes. We're undefeated in that. And then after that, that's when we ran the ball to Saquon a couple times. Then Kenny, the unsung hero, as you stated, came in, toted it 3 times to get that 1st down, and we bled out the clock from 2 minutes on and ended the game. I just wanted to touch on that, but how you feel about that last drive, Big Us?
Hey, that last drive, I'd say almost embodied this offense to an extent. It showed our physicality because on that drive, as you mentioned, we weren't only running the ball, we were passing the ball. We were passing efficiently, hitting AJ on the slants, things that he does oh so well. Running the ball, you know what I mean? Being physical at the line of a scrimmage, moving people. I believe on that drive also we had like I said, you had a tush push on that drive, went for it on the 4th down. You saw all of Philly in that drive. Okay, so it embodied the offense, and then to boot, like we love the control, or to add, we let it control time of possession. 10 minutes and 29 seconds. That's how long that drive took. That's insane. That's insane. After Mike Tomlin made the decision to punt because he believed that he was going to get another possession back, game was over. He never thought after I punt this ball and the Eagles receive it with 10 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll never see the ball again for the rest of the game. Okay. You had Sweaty on the sideline joking with AJ, like, bro, I ain't even get a chance to rush. And at the end of the game, like, yeah, man, you'll get one next week. We controlled the game. We did what we wanted to do. It showed everything that this team was about. I love to see it. Like I said, we got down when the 2-minute warning hit. We could have ran another play. We could have easily scored. We were right there. We bled 2 minutes with kneel downs. We're never going to run a play. That's it. All right, man. Everybody go home. It's over. It just embodied Philly. I love to see it. I need to see more of it. I want to be in that position more.
Definitely,
Truly.
Huss. And then, like you said, the time of possession that we had, it was amazing because you know that for those that don't know, the Steelers led the league in time of possession. So we took what they do best and applied it to us and ran the clock out. Mike Tomlin knew S got real when he took his shades off in the second quarter, bro. He came out there with his shades on, and then after we went up 10-3, he said, hold on, all right, this is a ball game for real.
Hey, because honestly, he started to see it because Mike Tomlin ain't new to this. He true to this. He started feeling the vibes like, all right, man, we might be outgunned in this battle. Okay, not that my boys ain't gonna fight, not that my guys won't be soldiers, but we just might be outmanned. And y'all were, and they were. And there's nothing really you could do about that. I mean, you could coach up a team as best you can coach them up, and they were coached up. It's just we had better players, and we also had better coaching. And then to your mention of the time possession, we control time possession 39 minutes and 52 seconds to their 20 minutes and 0 seconds. Close to damn near double their time. That's how long we had it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was complete and utter domination, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
But
and
like you have, go ahead.
Huss, before we move on to the defense, big bro, I wanted to talk about Mike Tomlin. Like you said, Mike Tomlin is one of the best to ever do it. 2 stats on Mike Tomlin real quick before we transition over to the defense. So per Ruben Frank and Rube's observation, shout out to Ruben Frank. So the Eagles outgained the Steelers 401-163. And if you don't remember a Mike Tomlin coach Steelers team being outgained to 238 yards in a game, that's because it's never happened. Tomlin has coached 307 games, and that 238 margin is the largest he's ever been on the wrong side of. The previous high was 236 when they played the Ravens in 2020. The Eagles' 238-yard advantage was the biggest against any Steelers team in 26 years since the Bengals outgained the Steelers by 272 back in 1998. Also, the 2 possessions that the Steelers had was the least amount of possessions that they've ever had in any half under Mike Tomlin. It was tied for. I'm sorry. 2 possessions in the second half is the least amount that Mike Tomlin has ever had, other than in 2007 when he had Charlie Batch and Dennis Dixon at quarterback. Take that into context.
Yeah, that's been a minute, man. Dennis Dixon, the old Oregon Duck, if y'all remember him. And then Charlie Batch, the old head, he was there for 20 years, never played. But like I said, moving on to the defense, dog. That's a crazy stat for real. That really is crazy. But moving to the defense, this defense been a dominant, bro. They've been elite. They held the Steelers to their lowest yardage total of the season. This is the 3rd time that this team has now held a team to under 200 yards and the 10th straight game of 20 points or less allowed. Defense has been straight feasting elite under Vic Fangio. Straight up, they play with aggression, they play with swag, they play sound. It's just they know at this point. It's like they know they're good, and it's like they're feeding off of it. They're feeding off. You can just feel the energy. They're now tied for points, first in points per game. They're They're first in yards per game with 275.6 yards per game. That's the third lowest yards per game allowed in the past 5 seasons. So now imagine past years we had the 49ers defense, all these elite defenses. That's the third lowest yards per game in the past 5 years. So that just puts into context how good this defense really is. The Steelers were held to 30% on third downs. They were 3 of 10. They only had like 10 first downs in the whole game. Like it was crazy. True, like for real.
They only had 2 legit plays.
Come on, bro. And bro, and you know your offense is in bad standing when you come out of the half and your first play is a flea flicker, and it wasn't even a good one. It really should have been picked off for real. If Zach Bond had really flipped his head, he'd have picked that joint smooth off. Like that's how you knew they were really reaching. They were desperate. They didn't have any answers.
Mm-hmm.
The defense was put in negative territory 3 times. Twice off turnovers. One was the Jalen fumble. You had a Cooper DeJean fumble on special teams. Another one where it was, I believe, like a 30-yard punt by Braden Mann, where they started around the 50-yard line, but the Steelers were only able to gain 6 points, where literally they were already in plus territory. They didn't have to drive. They were guaranteed 6 points. So they can only get 6 points off of it. The linebackers have been elite. Per Thomas R. Peterson, Zach Bond and Kobe Dean have been the highest graded linebackers since week 4. Zach Bond at a 91.5 PFF grade and Kobe Dean at an 85.4. These two have been going off. The Kobe Dean had 10 tackles in this game, forced fumble. He was flying around. Zach Bond was doing Zach Bond things per usual. They're tied for first and second in most run stops with 35 and 33. They are very active. The DBs shut everything down. Russell Wilson really had no options. There were no options in the pass game. We played a lot of cover 1 on early downs to help with the run. They like to run Najee Harris. I forget the other running back's name. Jalen Warren. Yep, Jalen Warren. They like to run them early, so we played cover 1 to bring the extra defender down, and then in later downs we would go more of a 2 high to protect versus the deep ball, kind of keep everything underneath us so we could rally. The D line, disruptive to say the least. Now we only had 2 sacks, but they controlled the line of scrimmage. They couldn't run. Russell Wilson couldn't really scramble. They could barely pass. This might have been Nolan Smith's best grade. PFF graded him at an 84. My man had 4 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 2 pressures, a sack, and a BBU. My man was very active, setting the edge in the run game, in the pass game, played 95% of the snaps. He's really rounding out to be, I don't want to say an elite edge defender, but a well-rounded edge defender, an above average serviceable edge defender, even maybe more than serviceable, because he is making plays. Jumped over Jalen Warren on some crazy and cleared him, stuck it, and then proceeded to chase Russell Wilson. Like, my man, there was another play. I don't know if you all saw it. This might have came after the short Braden Mann punt. They're down there. You had Freiermuth on a wheel route. You had Nolan Smith in coverage with him on the wheel route. Hey, stride for stride. I've seen this before. So not only is he rushing the passer, not only is he stopping the run, my man is out in pass coverage, strapping it up. Like he's really he's showing that first round work. Yeah, I mean, he's up to 5.5 sacks on the year, really eating. Josh Sweat came up with another sack. He's up to 8 on the year. Milton Williams has been graded out as one of the highest graded D tackles now. He has 5 sacks on the year. I believe he's top 5 or top 10 among all interior D linemen. Has a PFF grade of 93 when pass rushing. He's a dog. Milton's going to get paid. I hope it's here. This D line is going off right now. I didn't mention Jalen Carter, the animal in which he is totally disruptive now. We'd like to sometimes give a little negative. Hey, JC, I got to holler at you, baby. You can't be doing that, fam. You got to keep your cool, bro. I know the Steelers were in there trying to bully us, but we ain't going to get bullied at home. But when you go to react, it has to be controlled aggression. You can't go up there karate chopping, gudo, whatever you was doing, slap my man upside his head. You almost gave him a concussion. You slapped him silly. It was unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, it was after you said after the punt, and we didn't get flagged for it, but that could have been crucial. So to you and everybody else, man, let's continue to play fast, smart, passionate, aggression, but overall, let's play disciplined and smart. The DBs, like I mentioned, they were sound tackling. This was just a good game for the defense, man. What you see, bro?
Mm-hmm. Overall, like you said, excellent game from the defense. We're proving why we're the gold standard of the NFL when it comes to defense. Just to touch back a little bit on your point, Big Huss, the Steelers' first 5 possessions were a punt, field goal, punt. So it was 3 plays for 3 yards, 3 plays for 2 yards, 3 plays for negative 11 yards, 4 plays for negative 8 yards, 3 plays for negative 5 yards. That's insane to start your first 5 possessions with multiple punts and multiple 3 and outs. Like you said, Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, fearless, bro. We keep trying to think about the last time we've had this type of linebacker play on our team, and we can't remember. You have to go back to like the early 2000s with like Jeremiah Trotter and Carlos Emmons, people like that. Even if you want to go back a little bit to Mr. Nigel Bradham, you see what I'm saying? He wasn't playing on this type of level that Bond and Dean are playing. They're manning this defense. The defensive line is letting them play free, run sideline to sideline, scrape their defenders, and get to the ball. This is what I love. We're playing as a unit. And then like you touched on the DBs. Quinyon, bro. I don't even know. We don't even have notes on Quinyon because nobody throws his way.
Hey, speaking of Quinyon, he has now taken over Defensive Rookie of the Year odds. Now he's the favorite to win that. Didn't mean to cut you off. I had to throw that out there.
Oh, you good? Throw that out there. Yeah, throw that out there. And then not only did he take over Defensive Rookie of the Year odds, he's the only corner that's left that has over 300 snaps that still hasn't allowed a tie down. Because the last game I was watching with the Seahawks, Devin Witherspoon gave up a tie down. So now Q is up there solo dolo. You see what I'm saying? But yeah,
man of one,
audience of one. You feel me? But yeah, like Quinyon, we don't even have notes on him. I was watching a segment with B Dog Weapon X. Y'all know, you feel me? B Dog said that what Quinyon is doing, it's not normal. It's not normal for him to be so up to speed and for him to be on an island solo and holding his own. The fact that we've been joking about it in prior videos, if you all been tuned in with Quinyon, Quinyon has to get his interceptions. I mean, he's not getting the opportunity now, but when Quinyon, just like Brian Dawkins said, when Quinyon can take the ball away and get them turnovers, he's already a shutdown corner. He's legitimately going to be, bro, I'm not throwing his way. Like that half of the field, it's done. I'm not even looking over that way. Let's look to the other side. But Q, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of you. Reed Blankenship coming back. It was a beautiful sight to see him come back, even though he got a bogus flag on a Justin Fields slide. What do you want the defender to do? What do you want the defender to do when the quarterback runs and is literally a yard or two in front of you and then decides to slide? What do you want me to do? But that's neither here nor there because they did miss a flag on QB1 that had this. It was the same type of play. When QB1 scrambled, he slid and number 50 came and landed on him. So let's call these flags even. But that's neither here nor there. But Reed did a phenomenal job. CJ did a phenomenal job bringing the energy, bringing the leadership that he usually does. Now, like you said, with the good comes the bad. With CJ, with that Freiermuth, I know he's a big physical tight end, has strong hands. You played the ball well. You were in phase.
He almost got it. You have to, but he has to fight for that football. But other than that, that was the only downfall that I saw with CJ.
Then I did see Isaiah Rogers. I like that Fangio with the dime packages. Literally, instead of putting Avonte Maddox on the field, he put Isaiah Rogers on the field, a more serviceable young defensive back who can keep up with the different receivers. Very smart move. And then when it comes to Slay, look, Slay told y'all straight up, he ain't no sucky, he ain't no punk, he ain't soft. You see what I'm saying? He had a phenomenal heads up play on the Najee Harris fumble when he recovered it. I know how it feels to be underneath the pile. It is not fun to be at the bottom of the pile because everything and anything happens in the bottom of the pile. But what I do want to say is with the whole defense, I feel where Darnell Washington wanted to keep pushing Slay out of bounds and all that. That's just like pushing somebody to the sideline. They keep trying to push them to the bench, bro. The play is over. The whistle was blown.
And now remember, you got to remember though too, versus Saints, similar play. Slay got hurt on that earlier in the year and he missed time. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going for that, bro. We already been through this.
Come on. We already been through it. And like we said, the whistle was blown. You got him by 110 pounds. Slay is like $190. Darnell Washington is 300 pounds, bro. You got him by 110 pounds and you feel big and, oh, I achieved and accomplished something. No, where y'all messed up was when y'all pushed Slay after the whistle and Quinyon came over and all the defense came over. That was the momentum change. That was when the defense said, all right, bet. Y'all want to try to be bullies? You know what? We're going to turn our bullyism, if that's a word, I don't know, our bullyism up a few notches. You see what I'm saying? And get after you boys. You feel me? Because that was a despicable play. That was Darnell Washington as a square for that. And then you notice when Jalen Carter came over there, Darnell Washington, they used to be teammates at Georgia. Darnell Washington saw Jalen Carter and then try to abort the mission. At first he was with the mission, then he aborted it. Just like almost at Friday when Debo came up, when Red, Craig, and Smokey was out there, he was like, oh, I'm just gonna tuck my chain in. You see what I'm saying? Like you say when he leave, I'll be talking again. He hit one of those.
I'm Debo. Who? Debo.
I just tuck mine in.
He be like, shut the fuck up. I be quiet. But when he leave, I be talking again.
You feel me? But to finish up real quick, Huss, the defensive line played phenomenally. They pushed the pocket, as we always say. They collapsed the pocket. They played for one another. As you can see, Sweat and Nolan had a very solid game, which we predicted in the preview video against the weak tackles. You saw on both of their sacks that they helped one another. Nolan came, hit a spin move, collapsed the pocket, got Sweaty a sack. Sweat closed in on the pocket and collapsed the pocket and got Nolan a sack. So I love the fact that they're all working off of each other. They're all rushing and understanding their rush lanes and assignments. They're playing for one another. Jalen Carter, his stats might not pop out in the stat sheet, but with him in the middle, Jordan Davis in the middle, I even saw Moro Jomo. When we push that pocket and get in the interior, it's hard to beat us. Our young dogs are playing. I even saw Jalix Hunt out there, keep it contained, which we said was a major thing to do against this team, to set the edges and keep contained. These young dogs, these Georgia boys, they starting to wake up, bro. And with them starting to wake up, they're setting a new precedent of how defense is played in Philadelphia, and we as a fan base love to see that.
Absolutely. And then last thing, special teams. Now, special teams overall, it was solid. Jake was solid. I know we mentioned last video, somewhat of a concern for us. Kind of hasn't been the same this year, but he was fine this game. Made 2 field goals, both one a 34-yarder, another one 41 yards. Had 3 extra points, made them all. Braden Mann, overall solid day, but he did have that one wild punt where it went for about 30 yards. Can't have that, but I expect him to clean that up. He's been clean all season for real, so I ain't gonna really jump on him. And then Cooper DeJean, bro, I really don't even want you back there, but if you're gonna be back there, one, protect yourself because you got clapped up on the sideline. Two, bro, you gotta hold on to the rock, fam. I know you making your moves and you're cutting, you're sifting through traffic. Number one priority outside of your health, bro, is that ball, bro.
High
You
and
have
tight.
to high and tight. You can't have it out there. These dudes coming down there full heads of stink, laying for you. You a young boy out there, they looking at you like fresh meat. You know what I'm saying? So protect yourself, protect the ball. You did better on I believe that would have been your third one, but the one after the fumble, excuse me. You did better on your one after the fumble. Just clean it up, bro. No turnovers, clean game. We'll be all right, bro. But other than that, special teams overall solid day.
And one person who I want to highlight on the special teams Huss is Oren Burks. I know you were very, very high on him before the season, as I was high on him as well. Every time I see a punt coverage, kickoff coverage, Oren Burks is somewhere down there around the football. So I just wanted to make sure we shout him out because a lot of people don't talk about him, but he is very valuable to the team.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Overall, hey, good game, fellas. Offense, defense, special teams. Hey, coaching staff. I love the offensive game plan, the mix of running pass. I love the defensive game plan, continuing to play to your strengths and take away what the offense, your opposing offense loves to do most. And then giving complicated looks on the back end, especially post snap. These you could tell that these guys are really being coached up well. You can tell they're playing for one another. You can see the passion out there and the fun that they're playing with, and it just matters. It matters for real. This is our 10th consecutive victory, like you mentioned at the beginning of the video. New franchise record as far as wins, 10 straight wins. Let's build on it, man. Let's make it 11. Why not?
And real quick, because I want to give credit to the Eagles, to our team. We've had some uncomfortable conversations like we've talked about.
Yes.
Two conversations that I feel are going to put us in the Super Bowl conversation into winning the Super Bowl was one during the bye week where they had Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson go in and say that they want to run the football more. Also, a new report and article came out that shout out to Big Dom. And Brandon Graham went to QB1 and said that you're doing a phenomenal job being a quarterback, but more on the personable level. Make connections with your teammates. Jalen, QB1, legitimately took that and put a concerted effort in. We see what's going on with Aaron Rodgers right now. We know what type of quarterback he is. He would have had done that, but kudos to QB1. And then, like we said, we don't want to open up an old wound, but the uncomfortable conversations that we had going into the Steelers week, we see where the focus is. We see that this is a team, a total team, and we see that we have a lot of alpha personalities on our team. But one thing, what I do love about Sirianni is we've been critical about him with in-game adjustments and coaching decisions in the game. One thing that I can really hang my hat on and give him credit for is him managing all these different personalities and all these different alphas and making sure that everybody is ready and it's one common goal. The team knows the goal is Super Bowl. Because I forgot after the post-game speech, what was Sirianni? He said like togetherness.
Was it togetherness, toughness,
and detail.
Yeah, or something like that. It was
something to that extent. Something to that extent. But like you said, I don't want to harp on it too much. But like we've been saying, the coaches did an all-around great job having these boys ready, especially after the week that we had. Let's just block out this outside noise and focus on what we can control and get to where we want to go to.
Absolutely. And those uncomfortable conversations and Big Dom and BG showing up to Jalen Hurts' house, all of that can happen because of the culture in which Nick Sirianni has instilled here over the past several years. He's always preached relationships and family, brotherhood, being together, all of that. And you could tell, man, these guys, it's not even just the players, the coaching staff, everybody, the whole building truly takes that to heart, man. It's really a big family. And you can see that it shows up on not only during the week when you're hearing the reports and everything going on, but on Sundays. They have each other's back. And speaking of family, man, hey, I want to appreciate y'all for coming out here and tapping in with this family, hoping that y'all come join. We always mention like, subscribe, all that type thing. We do this because we love to do it. We love our birds. We love to share this type of information and this chop shop with y'all for real. So please come tap in. We're building this community. It's been fun. We've enjoyed the process. Hey, it's been a great year for it. If I'm keeping it a bean, you feel me? And them boys winning like a mug. Yeah, I mean, so, but nah, we appreciate
We
it.
want more. We want more. We want
Yeah.
more.
More is better than less. Okay, why?
More is better than less, because if stuff is not if there's less stuff, then you might want to have some more, and your parents just don't let you because there's only a little bit.
Right.
We want more. We want more. Like, you really like it. You
Right.
want more.
Give us more, please.
You know, but yeah, it's been love, man. Appreciate y'all coming in and tap in with us for real.
For sure, man. Like you say, you couldn't have said it any better, Big Hus. Make sure that y'all keep liking these videos. Make sure y'all keep leaving comments on these videos. Make sure that y'all are subscribing to our channel and become a part of this community. And then, like I said, make sure that you turn on that notification bell, also known as the Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes in with the Eagles news and updates.
Absolutely. Hey, I hope y'all having a great week. Gearing up for the holidays. It's right around the corner, baby. I hope Santa's nice to you. You feel me? He's gonna bless us with another great one. Hopefully another victory this weekend. We gonna wrap this thing up and get started on our preview vid. But hey, man, love y'all. Go Birds. Hey, it's all blessings, man. All blessings and love.
And if you don't know,
Now you know. Hey, I go by Big Husk.
and I go by Mr. Owns.
And this is the Main Thing podcast, where we keep the main thing
The main
thing.
thing. Go Birds.
Go Birds, man. Y'all have a great one.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.